Hiya crafters, Amy here, and I have a single layer card to share with you today. It's going to entail some stenciling and some die cutting, so let's jump right in. I have this Sassy Pants Best Friends stamp set from My Favorite Things. I have this awesome die set from Concord and Ninth, and I will link whatever products are still available in the video description box below if you expand that area and scroll down. I have the Beach Retreat Spa collection of mini ink pads from Catherine Pooler and this gorgeous 6x9 stencil from A Colorful Life Designs called Rattan. Now here's a photo of the finished card. You can see it's single layer, but it has some cool design elements that really didn't take much extra time, but really upped the wow factor on the card. So I'm just going to start with some simple ink blending. I have my Wendy Vecchi station tool and a few of the warmer inks from this pad set. And I'm starting with the orange color from the corners and kind of going heavier handed on the one edge and then fading out to a lighter color towards the center. I'm going to do the same thing with the pink color in the lower right and kind of start more saturated on the corner and then go lighter handed as I move up towards the center, just to kind of highlight the center diagonal of this card base. And then I'm going to come in and kind of vignette with the reddish color, both on the pink and the orange. And all those colors get along, so I can kind of do it on both ends without creating or muddying up any colors. So I'm just going to remove the magnets and do the big reveal here, and this gorgeous stencil does not disappoint. Now I want to kind of tone it down a little bit, all the white space, so I'm just using some of the residual ink just to go over lightly and kind of fill in some of the white. Now I'm making a conscious effort to use some products that have kind of been sitting untouched in my craft room, so that's why you see I haven't used this die set yet or that stamp set. I'm not sure if this die is still available, but if it is, I will link it below. But you can see it has that outer ring and then the inner portion. I did have to snip those apart, but this will just kind of cut those slat openings, but it won't cut the full circle out. So this is a way to kind of create this cool design element on the card. Now you can see this is a bit of a happy accident. I forgot to open the card base when I ran it through my die cutting machine, so it kind of cut into the back part of the card base. I didn't mean to do this. Thankfully it didn't cut all the way through, and it just kind of created this cool design element on the inside of the card and let me know for when I write on the inside where exactly the openings are going to be, so I don't write there. So it was a bit of a happy accident. I didn't mean to. I should have probably opened up the card base and ran it through the die cutting machine like that, but since I made the mistake once and I knew it wouldn't cut all the way through, I did the same thing for the second die cut, and I just kind of rotated it so the slats were facing a different direction. So here I'm just kind of popping out these little die cut bits from the first top part of the card base and then just essentially leaving the indentations on the inside of the card. So like I said, a little Bob Ross happy little accident here, but if you don't want that design element, then just open your card base and run it through flat through your die cutting machine. So here I'm picking, there's so many awesome snarky sentiments here. I'm figuring out which one I want to use and cutting open the packaging here. And these are all kind of long, so I'm trying to figure out if this is going to work with this vertical orientation on the card, because it's really edge to edge if I have it vertical. I'm just playing around in my MISTI here, figuring out what I want to do. And initially I try the layout with the vertical orientation, but I am going to stamp it on some plastic cellophane, and you'll see that's what I'm going to do in a moment here after I condition the stamp with my hand. That will essentially get off any manufacturing goo from the clear stamps, so you'll get a better impression. But I don't know that this is, first of all, going to stand off on the busy background, and also if it's going to work with this composition having the card oriented this way. So I'm just using the magnet to hold down this piece of cellophane from the packaging, and then this will allow me to kind of line it up and see how it'll look. And as I suspected, I don't really like it edge to edge like that. So then I can just kind of carefully reorient the packaging here and see what it would look like on the card base. So this is a way to kind of trial and error, test something out, so you don't ruin all the work that you've just done, and you can make sure it works with your layout. So I figure out that that works, kind of reorient the stamp after I clean it off so that it'll work with the card base in a horizontal orientation, and then it lines up perfectly, and those little lines of text actually kind of wrap perfectly around that die cut opening, so it actually worked out perfectly. And with the rich dark ink, it actually stands out fine on the busy background. So you can see single layer, no shortage of cool wow factor with those die cuts and the beautiful rich colors and the awesome stencil, but still nice and single layer, easy to ship, and came together really quickly. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing, and I appreciate you spending time with me today. I'll catch you next time. Bye.